Rock bottom is not the worst place. You can be. Rock bottom is the place where you finally stop pretending. His name was Owen, 35 years old, product manager at a tech company. From the outside, Owen had a life that made sense, a job he had worked toward, a marriage of 7 years, a mortgage, a plan. Then, in 6 months, all of it came apart. March, his company merged. His position was eliminated. May, his wife Claire told him she'd been unhappy for a long time. She said she was sorry. She hadn't known how to say it. July, Owen moved into a studio apartment that was smaller than his old office. He was 35, alone, unemployed, staring at walls. He described that period as the first time in his life that he couldn't perform his way through something. There was nothing to perform for, no job title to defend, no relationship to maintain, no version of himself to protect. Just Owen in a small room with no script. And for the first time, he had to ask a question he had been avoiding for 15 years. Who am I when no one is watching? The answer surprised him. He started walking every morning, not for fitness, just to be outside, just to be moving. He started reading books he had always put off. He started cooking, badly at first, then better. He started calling his brother Marcus, who lived in another city and who he hadn't spoken to properly in 3 years. Marcus picked up every time. One afternoon, Owen was sitting in a park, watching children play, and realized something quiet. He wasn't miserable. He was present, fully. For the first time in a decade, he hadn't been present in his marriage. He had been there, physically, but not truly there. He hadn't been present at his job. He had been performing a version of competence without real curiosity. He had built a life that looked right without ever asking if it felt right. If this story is hitting you, subscribe to Narrathex. New story every day. Owen started journaling, something he would have dismissed a year earlier. He wrote about his childhood, his father, who had worked constantly and called it love. He wrote about his 20s, always chasing the next thing, never stopping to ask if the next thing was actually his. He wrote about Claire, not with anger, with honesty. They had both been performing in that marriage, playing roles neither of them had chosen freely. Month 4. Owen started writing something else. Not in his journal, but in a separate notebook. Ideas for a product that solved a problem he had seen hundreds of times in his old industry. He didn't know if it would work. He didn't know if anyone would care. But he was writing because he wanted to, not because someone needed it, not because it fit a plan, just because it was interesting to him. 18 months after rock bottom, Owen launched a small software product. It wasn't a unicorn. It wasn't a headline. It earned enough to pay his rent and a little more. But it was his. Completely. He still talks to Marcus. Every week. He still walks. Every morning. He still cooks. Still reads. Still journals. He has been on a few dates. He is not in a rush. He told a friend once that the 6 months of losing everything had been the most educational period of his life. His friend asked, "Would you do it again?" Owen thought about it. He said, "I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I also wouldn't take it back. Because everything I built before, I built for other people's approval. Everything I've built since, I built because it was mine. And the difference is everything. So let me ask you something. Is there something in your life right now that looks right from the outside, but doesn't feel right from the inside? A job, a relationship, a version of yourself that you perform for other people? Because sometimes the things we cling to hardest are the things keeping us from the life we actually want. Rock bottom is not the end. It's the place where you finally have permission to start again with nothing to prove. This is Narrathex, where the story is the code, the lesson is the key. Subscribe and never miss another story.